Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long goes 1975. A YouTuber is on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long goes 1975.
Hey YouTube, Lawn Boys Post 1975. Welcome to the Wednesday vlog. Kind of a continuation from last week. I had so much fun doing that video on my 10 favourite ZX Spectrum games of all time. So much so that since before that, probably a year or so ago, I did actually do a list of my favourite Mega Drive games of all time. And someone asked me, because of the sheer number of Master System games I've done gameplays of, if I would do my top 10 Master System games of all time. And you know what? Yes, I absolutely love and adore the Master System. Now, it's kind of important because you could argue that this is rounding off a trilogy, because the three systems in my life I have the most love for, made such a big impact on me, shaped me as a gamer, were, the Spectrum, followed by the Master System, followed by the Mega Drive. Spectrum is my favourite system of all time, Mega Drive probably next, Master System in third, but there's no denying that the Master System was important because I was a Sega fanboy of the arcades, and so when I got my Master System, it cemented it, and I was fully on the Sega bandwagon, and I have such fond memories of it. I've written them down because I want to make sure I get the order correct, and this took a lot of thinking and deliberation. I'll be interested to know what yours are, but yeah, such love for the Master System. I wanted one, for years when I first saw the advert, the fold-out little flyer that came in magazines, and I saved up half for it. Everyone knows the story, and so my parents bought me it, paid for the other half, not bought the other half, and I got it for Christmas. Got it with two games, Wonder Boy, Afterburner. It was second hand, it was a Mark 1, gorgeous machine. The one that had the pause button on the actual console, had the card slots. Oh yeah, it came with Hang On as well, and the Snail Maze game that was built in. And I loved my Master System. I mean, games were pricey back then. There were places down the road in Western. There was the Virgin Megastore downtown. You could buy them through club catalogs when you pay like £3 a week for 28 weeks. The game would be more expensive, obviously, doing it that way. You could even order them directly from Sega. So yeah, I'm going to do it in reverse order, but my 10 favourite Master System games of all time are: number 10, Wonder Boy. Oh, they did change this, even though they ported the arcade, the arcade sprites and stuff like that. The bar you see at the top, that was not in the arcade, so I got jump. Oh, I haven't got fire yet. Oh, and you collect fruit, because everyone back then was on their 5 a day. There we go. And you get eggs and shit, and you get skateboards and stuff, and an axe, right? So, fire. Jump, fire. But if you jump normally, you can't jump very high, but if you hold down fire and run, oh, someone stole my fucking manners, wanker. You can jump Mackie high, and you need that. Now, I'm absolutely appalling at this game these days, but I loved this back in the day. I remember it was officially, I think, probably the first game I played on my Master System, because even though I bought it and my parents gave me the other half for Christmas, they let me have a little sneak peek on it, and I played this. Not a particularly deep game. It was originally an arcade game. Was it made by West One, I think? I'm not sure. I know that the hardware that the arcade ran on was very, very similar to the Master System. Maybe because I played it in the arcades and loved it. Obviously, just, your girlfriend get kidnapped, you just run from left to right. You can get a skateboard, not sure how, because you're on a desert island, it's almost prehistoric. Axe, have to fight a boss and rescue your bird, but just something so sweet and charming about it. And for such an early game on the Master System, the graphics were fantastic, very reminiscent of the arcade. Like I said, I played it in the arcade, came with my Master System. Maybe that was the reason I loved and adored it. I know I told my mum, can I please check these games to make sure they would work, and so I got to play a little go on it, before Christmas, way before Christmas. But yeah, love me some Wonder Boy. Right, number 9, Galaxy Force. Right, let's go with level 2. I can pick any of them in sequence, can't I? Right, nice. I do like that effect as a kid blew me away. Your craft is particularly good looking, although it looks completely different there than it does here. It looks like the arcade there, but not here. Right, so Fire Planet. It does. Am I shit? Are they exploding? Or am I scratching my vinyl collection? Right, so the lock on, there we go, Afterburner. Seems really ineffectual. because you know the number of layers of sprites they have to replicate scaling is just piss. Or oh shit, it's that bit from Flash Gordon the movie. So they're way out of dodge by the time oh fuck, I try to shoot them. I mean, how does it compare to Space Harrier? Less. Ooh, oh, I can shoot those things. Who knew? Originally an arcade machine. That's going to be something prevalent in this list, by the way. I mean, it's Sega. What do you expect? It's it's going to be. This is why I wanted a Master System, to get these games. So I fell in love with the arcades at home. But originally an arcade machine, Super Galaxy Force 2, and Galaxy Force Hydraulic. Think Afterburner. Amazing sprite scaling, absolutely superb. No way it could have been pulled off on the Master System, but at least to me it's a very, very decent port that does feel like the arcade game. I remember CVG, which was the reason I bought it, absolutely raved about it, and it's not for everyone's cup of tea. It's kind of a Marmite game. You either love it or hate it, but I mean I've got a soft spot for it, and I think it's graphically very impressive, and I played it in the arcades, and obviously there is a big difference, but to me it's one of the better home ports across all the systems. Obviously it's not as good as the Mega Drive, but the things would change. Like your ship looks nothing like the arcade. It's more akin to Afterburner, but I absolutely adore it. And this was another game I bought in Western Super Mario, I think, with all my birthday money. Anyway, that's by the way. Number 8 of one that showed up in my Spectrum list, and that would be Bobble. Sorry, right, jump and spit. I probably could have worded that a little bit better. Right. There we go. Hang on, why are you still alive? Die, you bastards. Right, there we go. Wait for... Oh, frisky little bastard. Wait for the fruit to come down. Points. There we go. Next screen. This is what I love about arcade games back in the day, the limitation of the hardware, just did not stop or affect the sheer utter gems they came up with. I mean, look at this. I think, decent graphics and stuff like that makes people somewhat complacent, but back then everything was just kind of charming. I mean, this in New Zealand story and stuff like that. I loved Tato back in the day. They were absolutely fantastic. You know the story, Bub and Bob, twin dragons, progress through a series of screens by shooting out bubbles, trapping enemies in it, popping it, collecting the fruit, clearing the entire screen, going to the next screen. Very, very simplistic, fantastic arcade game. The Master System version, is it arcade perfect? Probably not, but to me, in my mind, and in my eyes at least, back in the day when I was a kid, I thought it was arcade perfect. I used to brag to my mates, holy shit, look at this, it's arcade perfect. But the main thing that makes it so great is not only does it look like the arcade, but it's got perfectly tight and amazing controls. I don't think there is a bad version of this game. You could argue that because it's such a simple premise of a game, it sets itself up for a brilliant conversion on every platform. But there's no denying that the Master System version is absolutely bloody class. Right, awkward pause there. Number 7. Oh, what can I say about this game? Space Harrier. Now, I can't recall, because I haven't played this in ages, if the bonus stages are in this when you ride the dragon. Ride the back of a dragon, I should say, and well, you don't seem to smash up any of the bad guys, you just seem to have a big problem with nature. Oh crap, I can't talk and play this game for shit. I do like the fact that the sprites are really, really big, it's nice and colourful, the music's amazing, because let's be honest, that was never a strong point on the SEGA Master System. Cool. It's certainly very reminiscent of the amazing music. That bit, there you go. Of the amazing music of the arcade machine. Nice. Just make it to the dragon. That's all I want to do. I sound like Zamo from Grange Hill. That quote will mean nothing to anyone outside United Kingdom. Right, come on. Whee! I absolutely suck at this. So, your Harrier, you go to the fantasy zone, as you know, to free it from this force that's attacking it across a number of stages, fly into the screen, bazooka under your arm, shit flies at your face. It was a sprite scaler in the arcades, early machine, 1985, I fell in love with it. And this was one of the ones on that flyer before I had a Master System that I drooled over, because I had a shot of the dragon from stage 3, the twin-headed dragon. Obviously there was no flicker in the shot, because there's a lot of flicker in this game. But I just remember thinking, holy shit, it's like the arcade, and to me it was. I still think it's one of the better home ports. It's so impressive. It really annoyed me that it never got released on the Mega Drive. But yeah, there is a lot of flicker, but big graphics, impressive, bad guys. Some of the end bosses are absolutely sick. Tight controls, great music. Feels like the arcade game. It really, really does. I mean, I loved it on the Spectrum, but this was something where, you know, I was determined to get a Master System, was to play games like this, because Space Harrier, to me, was basically what the arcades were all about. Now, number 6. This is interesting, but we'll get to that. Thunderblade. It's been a while since I played this, right? So on this, obviously, they just don't even try and do the sort of, you know, top-down 3D effect. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's weird. Oh shit, this is tits frisky. I can fly above the buildings, and I have rockets. But yeah, it just felt odd trying to aim them at the stuff on the ground. I think they just kind of made it a more sort of, you know, traditional shooter. Oh shit, this is hard, mind. I have no idea how I survived that. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it's a very much more traditional shooter, but it is nice graphics. Oh, there we go. Sound is obviously, it was never one of the SEGA sort of, you know, 8-bit systems, you know, with strong points. Look at this guy, mind. Fucking hell. Now, the reason this is interesting is, obviously in the arcade, 2 styles of gameplay: top-down, sprite scaler, stack sprites to replicate 3D, into the screen, other stages. Other than the PC Engine version, consoles that is, I don't think that they really attempted to do that or pull it off. The Mega Drive version does, but it's so weak. You know, for such a flagship Sega title, it's such a shit, weak port on the Mega Drive. And the Master System version is heads? That's a bad guy from Space Harrier. Head and shoulders above it. So impressive. The top-down stages are really, really graphically impressive. There's no stacked sprites. It's the Master System, but you know, it's a really, really good-looking, graphically pleasing top-down shooter. Really, really tight, responsive controls. Super addictive, challenging for sure. But then the into the screen stages, you know, the buildings, the 3D, I should say, in buildings feels more solid and 3D-like than what they pulled off on the Mega Drive. It really, really is, you know, a brilliant port. And another reason that I loved the Master System and why this is in my top 10 is it's one of those amazing arcade games I loved and adored in the arcades, and I can't say it enough. Again, the reason I bought a Master System was, to me, it was to experience the arcades at home, and for games like this. So, Thunderblade, absolutely fantastic. Right, number 5, Wonder Boy in Monsterland. Right, so you twat the snakes, right? Yeah, and you get cash. Cash is good because you can use it to buy, you know, shit. There we go. Right, here we go. Right, how much cash have I got? I got 8 quid exactly. Right, what do I want to buy? Booze? I'm assuming it's booze. Oh no, jump the last tree on the right hand side. Oh, it's giving me a secret, and now I'm broke. I'd rather have booze. Oh, look at this little bastard, mind. Right, there we go. Controls are really nice and tight, by the way. Does it have a slide mechanic like the original? No. It's just one of those games, you know, that... Oh, have I got time? I don't know, what's the deal with that? Oh, it's a potion. Wonder Boy in Monsterland is a side-scroller sequel to the original Wonder Boy, but it takes a vastly different approach. It's got RPG elements, you know. Monsterland is being invaded, and you basically have to go and kill the final dragon. Various bosses along the way, collect money, kill bad guys, upgrade your weapons, your armor, things like that. But as I said, very RPG-esque elements. The Master System version, to me, looks really, really like the arcade. Again, I know I keep saying this, but it was a game I loved and adored in the arcade. And so when I thought, you know, I saw I could get this on the Master System, I shat my pants. It doesn't disappoint. You know, it's a perfect, you know, representation of the arcade. Great graphics, great sound, great playability. All the aspects of the arcade machine you love are in it. Now you might think, well, why didn't you pick the Dragon's Trap over this? You could argue that Wonder Boy 3: The Dragon's Trap, which is a fantastic game, was just outside my top 10, is a superior game, but like I've said with a lot of these, is because of the link I have to them in the arcades is the reason they made it into my top 10 list. And this is an absolutely fantastic game. Boring random fact, I ordered this when it was $24.99, sent my check to Sega to get it through in the post, waited 3-4 weeks, got a letter back saying, sorry, it's now gone up to £29, and gave me my check back. Wankers. Anyway, never forgotten that. Number 4, this really is just a list, it really is now, of just arcade goodness and my love affair with Sega. But number 4, Shinobi. Right, so mission 1, Ken. Oh, sounds like he's confused with his name. I love these little map screens, like with the ring binder holes in the side, right, left, right, fire, jump. Now, as I recall, live top right, live gauge top left. Is that something new? Up and jump. All right, it's a little bit kind of jaggy. Well, it's not polygons when it does that, but bear in mind it's the Master System version. That's what happens. Certainly better than the NES version, which always blew my mind that it was on the NES back in the day. Actually, their projectiles in this version are a lot slower than the arcade. Right. Anyway. Rest of my students, because their parents would be unhappy that they sent them to a private school who taught them the art of being a ninja, but was so crap that he couldn't defend them. Right. I love it. So many memories come flooding back to me as a kid of this game. You know, just the fact that, you know, of all the home ports, at least to the PC Engine version, no budget haircut for me, no soup for you. This was easily the most accurate. Oh shit, definitely over the PC Engine version, because that lacks the second stage. Not sure why, must have been a memory issue. Does that mean the Master System cartridges could pack more memory than shoe cards? Pretty sure we're all familiar with Shinobi. I've done, a gameplay comparison video of it. It was an arcade machine, absolutely fantastic arcade machine. Everything that we loved about Sega, multiple tier system, upper deck, lower deck, ninja, throwing stars, bad guys, power attack, great bosses, challenging, addictive, amazing. Again, one of the better home ports. I mean, when I first got my hands on this, I shat my pants. I remember it was a trade with someone. It was only supposed to be a temporary trade, and I forget what I traded him, but I remember when he moved away and I got to keep this game. I felt like that I was the winner in the situation. But it's a really, really good port on the Master System. Once again, limitations of this system's hardware mean things were cut. But unlike the PC Engine version, you actually get the Shuriken Throwing Star bonus stage, which is really, really impressive. But, great music. More so back in the day, but then you can argue that about everything when you become an adult and you play these games again. But I could it looked like the arcade to me. Doesn't now, but it really did. Maybe I had, fuzzy Sega wagon glasses on, but it looked like the arcade. And another reasons I constantly say, which is why I loved the Master System, which ultimately would lead me to getting a Mega Drive, was this bond, this connection between my childhood going to Westward Ho's amazing arcades and Minehead's amazing arcades, and experiencing all these Sega classics, including the next one. Number 3, OutRun. Right, I can check. That's so cool. I mean, was it a launch? I think it was a launch title. It's certainly one of the games. Look at that. Oh, certainly one of the games that sold the system. Right, so that's accelerate. That's brake. What, we've only got 2 fucking buttons. Sort your life out, Dave. Right, left, right. Oh, now I said it in my Game Gear version, gameplay, which is that is smoother than this version. I don't know what Oh, bollocks! Ouch! Face, meat, floor. I love the fact that the birds, no problem, you crash your car, I'll get back in with you. It's because I got a Ferrari, isn't it? Yeah, the Game Gear version, the scrolling and the sprite scaling, which I guess is the wrong... Is it? I'm torn to whether to say sprite scaling on on the Master System, but even the Mega Drive, but bollocks, fucking Porsche owners. Oh, but yeah, it's fast. That's nice when the road recenters itself. It's far smoother on that, but at the same time, I prefer this version because it just utterly blew me away as a child. It doesn't look like the arcade machine here for sure, but you gotta but as a kid, it was just like this was the arcade experience at home. It was one of those break. Just one of those experiences as a child. I can't talk and play this. Oh, corners. This is America. I thought you didn't have corners. Oh, I don't know how I got back on the road then, but yeah, it was one of those experiences as a kid. Oh no, change down. Real men aren't afraid to change down. Come on, everyone knows what OutRun is. You know, you, your bird, convertible Ferrari Testarossa, racing against the clock to compete a number of stages, multiple routes. Fantastic, amazing arcade machine. I got to play the full sit-down hydraulic cabinet. You know, fantastic music. What's not to love about it, you know? And this, again, I keep saying this, broken record, I know. One of the best home ports, easily one of the best home ports. Better than the Amiga, better than the Atari ST. Bold words, I know. It's just fantastic. Obviously, it predates the Mega Drive. That was quite a late version. Predates the PC Engine, which is, you know, a solid version. But this, as I said, predates all of it. And again, it was that flower, that first flower I got, which was the reason that I used when I was saving up. I used to drool over and look at these games again and again and again. That was another game where I thought, I gotta have this, I gotta have this. It had the title, the start screen, didn't it, where you have the start at the top, all the crowds of people down the outside, and I looked and just went, oh my god, it's the arcade, I need this in my life, I need this in my face. And it is, it's really, really good. It's really smooth, you know, it really does represent the arcade. Obviously it's not sprite scaling, but what it does is absolutely superb. It really does feel like the arcade. It looks, the stages are really, really reminiscent of the superior arcade hardware. It's an absolutely fantastic game. If you've not experienced this on the SEGA Master System, like, seriously, it is amazing. Again, it was the arcades at home, and I had to have OutRun. Right, number 2. Might surprise you, lots of people probably would have thought this would be my number 1. Number 2, Golden Axe. Right. Oh, hang on. Now, the thing is, I'm just about to properly get spanked, aren't I? It is a very sort of what they've done. It is brilliant. The sprites really do look like they do on the Mega Drive. Playing it now for the first time in forever, even you know, bear very strong resemblance to they do in the arcade game. But looking at it now for the first time in ever, let's jump. Hang on. Got a hack and slash here. Have I got a double run? Here we go. I don't remember being this few frames of animation. But it is a very decent port, you know, it's all in here. You don't get the bonus level that you get on the Mega Drive, but, and obviously it's lacking 2 characters. No fair, man, don't attack me from behind. But, you know, it is all in here. And it's almost amazing that they made such a decent port, made the effort on such a game when it was that close to, you know, the Mega Drive version. But then I guess obviously the SEGA Master System was huge in Europe, so still a money spinner, I guess. Right. Oh, hang on. Weird birdie, freaky things. They're not even a decent kind of bird you can buy a pint for in date. Hang on. Oh shit. Here we go. Oh, I've got a dash on him as well. And a flip. I forget what other Sega game they show up in, those weird little creatures. Right, there we go. Right, cute little weird dwarfy things that you get like meat in potions out of by, well, kicking. He says, but... Hang on. Can I go down here? Now, this predates the Mega Drive version, I believe. Obviously, once again, differences are it's one player, you can only be Axe Battler. But other than that, arcade. And I do remember, because I played the arcade first, loved and adored it, didn't have the Mega Drive, or maybe it wasn't even out, or was just around the corner. But when I saw this on the Master System, and all the magazines raved about it, and we were just like, wait, double take, that can't be the Master System. The sprites look like the arcade sprites. Obviously duller colours, you know, less frames of animation, but they look like, you know, they look like the arcade sprites. What's great about it as well is, I'm not sure, someone explained it to me, how they've minimised the flickering, because it is really, really low here, but it's all the stages of the arcade are in there, all the animals, this sounded terrible, all the animals that you can, you know, ride. You do have the magics. Again, obviously it's a single player, but I don't blame it for that, because it's visually stunning. Playability is superb. It's such a good version of the arcade. Again, this more so than the other ones, because the arcade connection and my love affair with Sega is there, but from a technical, you know, perspective in terms, this really is a solid looking version of the arcade game. Absolutely adore Golden Axe. It's just, you know, one of my favourite, you know, arcade games and games across all systems ever, but this probably is my favourite version for sure. Now, number one, people probably thought, you know, Golden Axe might be number one, but anyone who truly knows me and knows the library on the Sega Master System probably guessed it. It's R-Type. Oh, but they're proper fucking sized up. Look at that. Alright, I think we're coming up to the first boss. And this is when I say, you know, it's kind of Geiger-esque, the graphics. More so in the arcade, but look at that. Totally ripped off Aliens. And fair fucking play, I say, right. So the trick here is to see that little angry prick in his fucking chest. Yeah? This. Have some of that. Indigestion is a bitch. Oh, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Blast off and strike fear into the Bido Empire. Basically, it's a side-scrolling shooter. We all know R-Type. I mean, I say the Spectrum should have been able to pull off the version that it did, but the Master System is easily up there, you know, second, to me at least, to the PC Engine version, and I'd be hard-pushed to say which is my favourite between this and the Spectrum, but it's such an impressive port. Yeah, there's flickering, but all the levels of the arcade are in here, including a bonus level that's hidden and a real bastard to get into. It's on the dot stage, isn't it? And yeah, and that is an even amazing looking level. But you know, all the power-ups, all the weapons, all the enemies, all the bosses. The bosses are huge and absolutely superb. Ball-terrifically hard, as you would expect, cause it's R-Type. But yeah, it's just, it's incredible. You know, it was such a brilliant port, and the fact that they were like, well, we're not done, here's an extra level. Yeah, have an extra level. Amazing. There's even a cheat code, which I kind of understand why they've done it, because, you know, for those of us back in the day who were kids, where you could make yourself, was it invulnerable? So if you wanted to see the end, you could. And I think that's probably how I got to see the end. Certainly how I got to the hidden level. But yeah, again, maybe flickering, but everything looks like it should do. You don't. There's no like sort of filling in the gaps with brain magic, you know, or vintage goggles and shit like that. You know the stages, yeah, you know, from the arcade when you see them, they are that good. Hands down, you know, my favourite Master System game of all time. Now this list might be slightly interesting, it might be slightly surprising, but when I sat down to write it, like I said, the main thing, and I keep saying it, but it's important that people understand that, was, to me, Sega, at least as a kid, was the arcades. And, you know, I always wanted to experience that at home. So, you know, we didn't even know the Mega Drive was on its way when we saw the Master System. So when I first saw that flash, saw it in the Mean Machines, couple of pages in the middle of CVG, that was it. I had to have it. And for the years that I had it, it did not disappoint. And every time a big flagship title was, you know, ported to it, usually by Sega themselves, I was genuinely excited to get it home and to play it. So this was my top 10 favourite Sega Master System games of all time. I would love to know what yours are. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.